Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to day 3 of our bootcamp for creatives, learning how to use AI to bring our ideas to life. I hope that everyone like me has had no sleep ever since you were introduced to these things. Certainly fun seeing the engagement in the WhatsApp group and seeing what people are starting to experiment with and build. Just a quick recap. So this program is supported by RADIF, the Regional Arts Development Fund, a partnership between Noosa Shire Council, who own and operate this facility and with whom I'm employed. So thank you to Noosa Council. I don't think there are too many councils in the world, let alone in Australia, that are offering this kind of thing. So I'm very thankful to them to allow us to even do this kind of thing. And I hope you're all getting benefit from it as ratepayers and people who live in the community. And it's supported by the Queensland Government, who support regional arts and creativity through this fund. Over the last couple of days, we have been talking about AI and creative work. And the guiding principle that I talked about right at the beginning was how I believe, and I've sort of stolen this phrase from the Microsoft CEO, that AI simultaneously lowers the floor, reduces the barrier to entry, and raises the ceiling. And today you're going to see, and indeed you have seen over the last couple of days, where we have all been able to do things we weren't necessarily able to do before using these tools, so the lowering of the floor. And we've seen professionals at work, experts, if you like, in their fields and how it's raising the ceiling for them. Today, I'm super excited to have the maestro with us, Denis Feletto.
A bit too much.
Maestro, isn't it?
Come on.
We're going to learn all about Denis and his amazing work and career in a second. But I just wanted to contextualize where today's session fits in the master plan that we had for this bootcamp. So, do you remember how we said we were going to start with images, we were going to take images and turn them into video clips, and then we were going to think about how do we use some of these tools to create the soundtrack that can accompany what we're making in terms of images and videos. So the soundtrack, if you like, consists of music, sound effects, vocals, etc. So that's sort of, you see the master plan kind of coming together, and then tomorrow you're going to learn how to edit that all together, publish and distribute through social media channels. So hopefully that sort of puts the thing in context. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce Denis, who is a professional musician and composer. And I thought, for those of us that are not sort of experts filmmakers or have been involved in sort of a detailed production of this kind, I thought it might just be interesting for Denis to kind of tell us a little bit about what does a professional composer do, what does their workflow normally look like, what does a typical week or a typical project look like, and then how is he starting to integrate some of this amazing AI into his work, and then we'll flip over into a hands-on workshop. So, Denis, give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself and how have you ended up sitting at this table in front of me over here? What is the backstory? How did that all happen?
I really don't know. Thank you guys. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Chris, for having me. As you can probably feel from a little accent or big accent, I'm not an English speaker. I come from Italy, and that's where I've grown up, and I've been trained, and I've been developing my sort of musicianship and craftsmanship. And just short story, I'm classically trained, so I'm a pianist. And then I moved a little bit into jazz music, and I got a postdoc degree in jazz music. And I did also something about coding a little bit, just from a university point of view. So I have a little bit of not being scared about that. But then my career, big word, has mostly been about gigging, performing, a little bit of teaching, and a lot of arranging. Okay, so I was with choirs, ensembles, orchestras, and something like that were arranging in terms of I'm writing notes were the main task, the main job. And then I slowly moved into something that was more about producing. And producing in music means you're sort of putting together notes, but then to have a final product. When you're arranging for live ensembles or even for recording sessions, you're just putting notes for live players to be played. When you're producing, you're sort of, I have to deliver the file, the stereo file that will be used for any purpose. And then when I was already quite adult, I met after a few years my piano teacher of my teenage. And she asked me, what about film music? You were so passionate about film music and you wanted to be a composer and work on film music. Oh, my favorite soundtrack, the first soundtrack I fell in love with was The Lion King. Sorry. And so that triggered, that question triggered another sort of, okay, I've done a little bit, what can I do now? And it was 2019, that I started, and then I reached a master degree in orchestration for film, games, and television. And orchestration is a bit of a detailed job that is not composing, but it is putting together things in a post-production workflow, where you work for composers most of the times, and you have to bring all the mock-ups, demos, okay, to live. You have to pre-produce the recording session if any live instruments have to be recorded, or orchestras, and then you have to deliver the final thing. COVID hit, and I said, and we decided, my wife and I, we decided to move here.
All right.
And that's why I'm here.
COVID was a massive talent dividend for the Sunshine Coast. A lot of talented people moved here. Now we've got to make the most and not let them move away.
So what I want to say is, in terms of working for the screen industry and deliver the sort of music for the media, I've been a muser for a long time, doing very different things. While in the last 4 to 5 years, I've been sort of developing these network connections first and job and products. Started here with the meetups of the Screen Collective. I see a few known faces. Are you members of the Screen Collective? Okay. And with the Screen Collective, I did a lot of works
Fantastic. I think one of my COVID pastimes was I signed up for masterclass.
Yeah.
Masterclass
Webinars.
is this. Yeah.
Masterclass.com.
Masterclass.com. And there were some amazing courses on masterclass.com. One of which was Hans Zimmer. The Hans Zimmer course, which I found very inspirational. And that's why you can walk next door and you can see a electric piano just fine.
Well, there are some footage on YouTube of John Williams with Steven Spielberg sitting on the piano watching a click, a noisy movie, and John Williams playing some thematic thing. Maybe it was Jaws.
Yeah.
And Steven Spielberg sort of imagining what that could have been. While with Hans Zimmer and all this new thing, the process has changed a lot. So now we are talking about AI and what this new technology can do. But in the last 20 years, the job has changed a lot.
It struck me in the Hans Zimmer one just how big a role computers now play. And I thought what might be a nice kind of segue is for you to take us into your world and just show us the tools of the trade. What do you use and what does a typical project look like? Perhaps you can throw it up on the screen here for us and and show what is involved as a composer making music these days?
Oh, so this is something I had to deliver yesterday. I'm late on this. And this is an old stuff, old-fashioned stuff where I'm writing down notes. I've been commissioned by a local orchestra, called Symphony Orchestra, to write a symphonic piece that will be premiered in a concert in September. And this is just notes. But if they are asking for can I have an idea what your work will be, I just hit play. And the level of, without tricking anything, just hitting play, the level of realism and how believable the sound is astonishing if compared to 10 years ago, 15 years ago. And this is one of the main reasons why I want to investigate in AI. Because when I'm writing every single line of every single instrument, it takes ages.
Can we just stop for a moment? That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was absolutely beautiful. So you wrote that piece of music from start to
From scratch.
Did it conjure imagery for you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think if you
I mean,
turned the lights off and you closed your eyes, you'd be able to imagine the scene.
thank you, because what they want is something that is a bit storytelling. But
So what was the brief? Take us through the brief.
the brief of this,
Yeah.
the brief of this, I don't know.
Okay, well, let's do a quick exercise. Who wants to have a go at what the brief might have been? Reverse engineer that piece of music to what do you think the underlying brief would have been? Anyone want to have a crack?
Felt to me like a bit of a magical fairy garden with small creatures slightly appearing behind the leaves, underneath the rocks, little expressions coming from the different parts of the music to show the different creatures appearing in the environment.
So sort of in the fantasy genre,
That's
something fantasy.
Very nice, thank you. So, background film composition. We thought the best program premiere. No. Then they moved the concert. Okay, we envisage a full orchestra. No, that's not the. Is this one? No. I need to find it. But it was sort of make something that can be accessible in a way. So to bring audiences to listen to a symphonic orchestra that is a very boomer and boring thing normally, and give something that is storytelling in a sort of cinematic flavor. That was the.
Take us through the process. How did you? So that's not quite the end product, of course, but how did you get to that? What was your starting point, and how did you get to that point?
The piano.
The piano.
But it won't be the piano for long. That's the main question. Yeah,
You start with the melody idea. or
Yeah,
something
you
like
just spend some hours just playing and taking notes and something. Nowadays, I mean, John Williams was writing on the paper. Nowadays, you're writing is doing this MIDI into Logic for myself, a digital audio workstation or something that has MIDI capabilities, and so you're sketching ideas like that, and then you develop ideas. So you sort of explode the music, writing harmonies, writing orchestrated for every single instrument. You add lines. You think about rhythms. And this is scary for me. Not this, but AI being able to have all it took to me to get to the point that when I can not master, but being able to do something like that, you know, where a lot of different levels of skill set, a very large skill set is needed, you know. And but I'm also excited because I don't want to spend that time to write every single note, and then there is one note that is crap. You know? So I think that in this regard, AI will help a lot.
So sort of to translate that, so the people who briefed you have an idea for an event that they want to bring the public to and give them a great experience, entertainment experience. The brief is then passed to you. That is, if you like, the movie that you're scoring, is this experience they're going to have, and you're creating the soundtrack for that. When you work on so that's a live performance. When you work on scores or soundtracks for film, or nowadays obviously podcasting is a key media format. How is it different, and how do you approach that?
Were you here on the 12th of May for the meetup?
I think some people might have been.
Did you see the movie?
Is that for Once in the Wall?
Yeah. So this movie. Maybe not the whole movie, but
It was a noticeably good soundtrack, by the way. It was a noticeably good soundtrack, by the way.
thank you. It was a really nice process. Where we weren't thinking about money because it took a little time. So this lady wakes up in the she really doesn't know where she is.
Hello? What do you want?
And so I don't want to get you bored, but you know, maybe I can show you the session. That would be more interesting. So, and if you want after that, I'm happy to show you the movie. So director, screenwriter is John Coghill here. At his first filmmaking experience. Okay, John is a muso that we all know. Oh, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I updated Logic yesterday and not good. So
Did you use the AI software for that?
just to sketch some ideas to ask them what they wanted. Yeah, not really to in the composing process. Yeah, I was sort of, and I mean it's interesting because it establishes a discussion, an open discussion on, and because usually, I don't know you, but usually director slash producer and myself, composer is a big word, but you know the musician have two very different languages.
Yeah.
And so the first thing is try to find a common ground where we are all working together to deliver a message that is a sort of storytelling message where we want to convey some emotions and we want to be on the same page. So I would say that but the very first thing that I got from him was this one. On a message. Because he had this idea of spaghetti western or something that with some sort of those sounds. That then things changed a lot, and this was the first software with his tape music. That's just been stopped music. I will say that for filmmakers, I don't know how many of you are filmmakers, this process can be very interesting because you can give the composer a clear idea of what you want instead of having to navigate infinite stock music libraries, try to find your own.
I suppose we were going into these sessions and maybe prompting AI to do this, and I think it would be interesting to hear from your perspective as someone who's looking at images or segments of video and composing something. In some ways, you're prompting your own talent and brain to produce the music. We're going to be prompting an AI. So you're thinking about things like moods and so forth. So the Wargs and the Wallum there that we saw, there were obviously different parts of that short movie that had different moods or themes where the music was tied to the particular mood of that. Might have been fear, might have been suspense, might have been whatever it might be. Then obviously you would know what notes to play and what pace to play and so forth. But sort of thinking about how the images translate into moods or themes is what we're all going to need to learn to do if we're going to prompt a music generating AI, is sort of give it some instructions that match whatever it is that we're trying to create. So could you maybe...
Yeah, first thing was that John, in this case, wanted to have a proper process and not only, let's make it easy and quick and something, and let's do not think about, do not talk about money. Okay.
This is John Coghill, is the former, the legendary Powderfinger drummer who now makes films. You'd expect him to put some effort into the musical part of his films, so yeah, makes sense.
So he wanted to a place where we were all members of the team feel represented by what we were doing, and having the necessary freedom also to express ourselves. So we sit down together and have a proper spotting session. You know what a spotting session is? Active spot. So the spotting session, you just take a notepad and decide together where the music kicks in and goes out, and maybe other annotations like a mood or what you want to achieve or something like that.
Okay.
And so you start seeing some markers over there, but then if you go into more advanced stages of the thing, you will start seeing more markers.
Are you creating this sound once the film's made? Like you've got the actual the visual.
But the ideal thing will be to have a lock version of the movie. The ideal. Then it depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes the filmmaker wants to have you involved at the early stages, just not to be conditioned by the image. Just to, like in masterclass, Hans Zimmer was speaking about Interstellar, and then the director didn't tell him about what the movie was. It was a story about the father and daughter. Okay, and so he was starting developing themes and so. But in this case, it's yes, a soft lock to begin. So soft because I need to start working in sync. Especially that's the most difficult thing to change in musically. And also this will become probably easier with the AI to move things, stretch and adjust if you need it.
So are you coming in at the final edit stage, or do you usually find that your composing's coming in and then they do a bit more editing, a bit more composing?
Or usually after some editing, some heavy editing has been done.
Yeah.
Even though it's interesting to get involved before, because you have a feeling of what's happening and what they want to convey. And even sometimes, a couple of times, I went to the shooting stage to see what was going on. And sometimes it happened a couple of times. The director or the wants the music in advance to have it, even if it is not a final version of the music, but to be played on stage. So to give the actors and the crew a feeling of what it could be, the pace and the mood.
Yeah. So take us through what we have here.
As you can see here, we were starting having some quite clear idea of what was going on till the tree.
What program are we in?
This is Logic Pro.
Okay.
Logic Pro is one of the most used digital audio workstations. Digital audio workstation is a multi-track studio environment where you can record, manipulate, and linearly. Now also, a multi-track session of music, but linearly. You can do a lot of things because you can change a lot of the tempo. That's this line that you see is the tempo map actually, and so you can do a lot of changes like these.
If you have a Mac and you're interested in learning some of these skills, your entry point is GarageBand, which is free and available on every new Mac that you buy, which is an incredibly powerful piece of software. It's a skinnied version of this, but
I will show you later on some tools here that are using AI because it's very interesting. And Logic is $229 lifetime. It's not like other competitors that they are super software, but you pay a lot. You pay $600 US bucks, and then you pay for upgrades. So even considering starting straight away from Logic could be a good, in my opinion. And so here we were just looking at the images. Okay, I don't know what you can see here. and starting seeing that we wanted something on her hand, for example, that we wanted something when she was starting realizing what's going on. And in fact, here we have put a sort of drone, a pad, a sound that's starting creating a sort of anticipation on what she's doing, and and so on. And the process then led to these alternatives, these sort of different versions. On a short movie, I work like this all together. On a longer project, I will split every cue, every song in different projects to have more room for maneuver if you have to edit something. If I had to edit Q1 here, this is a big deal. But yeah, so I don't know. Last one?
So can you use the AI programs that we've got here today?
Yeah.
To say I have moments where you have cuts or you want something to burst out of the roof and you just want to hit that with something, but it wasn't in there in the first place. You can go to that part in your Logic Pro, and can you insert at that point from from these AI programs that you're bringing in?
Once you have any audio file,
Yeah.
you can do anything on a timeline there.
So Dennis, let's say this was the traditional pre-AI way of doing what you do. How have you started to incorporate some AI tools into this, and take us through that evolution and how you're starting to use them, and then I think will then set us up for how we might be able to start to use those things.
Okay. We could talk about another project. Still from John and Tim Reed, who probably was here on the days before, and it's a podcast. Can we talk? Can we say the name of the podcast? I don't know.
No, we won't say the name of it, but
he told us.
Yeah.
So briefly, don't say anyone. They walk around and they with a microphone and they collect stories.
Vox pops, like vox pops.
So
those lines.
it's the tentative title is What a Stranger Told Me, and the idea is this is a logic session they gave me with just 1, 2, and 3 interviews. Okay, and what they put is these curious creators 3, that is the sort of temp track that probably they envisioned as to be a reference for myself. I think it's complementing very well with the voice, actually.
Hello, Emmett. How are you? I make a podcast.
I host a podcast
called What a Stranger Told Me.
Okay. Sorry?
What a Stranger Told Me.
Sure.
Yes. So I wander the streets collecting stories from strangers.
If you agree, I will be happy to explore some ideas here and use this for them, then giving them some new tracks and see what they say. What I would do here is, okay, I need this track that's that's curious creators. That's the difference. Okay, and I go to Suno. May I go to Suno?
Yeah.
Are you happy to go to Suno? Do you have Suno?
Yes.
Yeah. So Suno is a generative something like for images, for example, where you write down a prompt. Okay. But you can also upload an audio and eventually do something with that audio file. So for a project like a podcast, I could start writing something as a prompt and see what it can suggest me. Do you have any rough idea of any descriptors, given the little music that we heard, that we would like to?
Bouncy?
Bouncy.
Pizzicato. Sort of anticipated.
Pizzicato, yeah.
Whimsical.
So I asked for 5 words to describe that, and John told me curious, tongue-in-cheek, deep, compelling, interesting, and Tim gave me curious, friendly, welcoming, slightly apprehensive. So I'll put some of these ones: curious, deep, compelling, slightly apprehensive. Then the way this is to sort of describe my mood, then I will try to put something in the prompt that is about the genre, a word that I cannot say, sorry, or style. And this could be, I don't know, uplifting, bouncy, pizzicato. Are we happy with that? Bouncy pizzicato. And I found that is very interesting to have solid result to give also a sort of the purpose of the music. So I would explicit that it is for a podcast. So for podcast background. Oh, opening. Let's go with opening. And how long have you worked with Suno? Have you tried it a couple of years ago? Or not too much?
We uploaded it.
Okay. So can you see here? It's version 4.5. It has maybe 1-2 months, and it's become so fast, so fast. So when I click create, previously it would have taken 30 seconds, 1 minute, or even more. So the process of just having ideas or something was a little slower. While here we have already 2 tracks. Okay.
Quick question. Does it? Because I know with Midjourney it can recognize like Wes Anderson's style. Is if you put a prompt like similar to The Godfather, would this know what you're talking about?
Sometimes you get something that is a little resembling, a little.
Yeah.
But probably I would use a file from The Godfather.
Yeah. Okay.
We have to speak about copyright, definitely. But if you can get something that is originally resembling that one, or I don't know, get an audio from YouTube, a YouTube video, or something, and put it into there, it could be interesting. So.
Just create the music or does
Yeah.
it be some lyrics as well? Or?
Yeah, so good question, thank you. Suno is a song generator, song with lyrics. Okay, so there's a button there that's a flag. You can flag to have instrumental, but it is a sort of soft filter. It's not really a flag where it is not generating lyrics. Usually it is always generating lyrics, and that instrumental is also a little risky because it creates something that later on is difficult to separate, because my main thing now will be to get to a point where I can get different parts of my song, different stems of my song. So lyrics, drums, bass, blah blah. Okay, so I'm not very fond to that button, instrumental. Even if I want to force it, I will put no lyrics or just only instrumental but not always it works because it is about the context. So maybe if you put orchestral or something like this, you won't have a lot of lyrics, but you have lyrics. And it's not Which one do you like the most?
First one.
Okay. So what if I just download it? MP3 to be fast. We put it into what is channel?
Can you put in your prompt how fast you want the music to go? Like
I'm sorry?
Can you put in the prompt, is there a filter where you can add if you want the music to be fast or slow?
Yeah, but also that you can change the speed later on.
Did you say it can give you stems or it can't do stems yet?
Pardon?
It can't do music stems yet. Like it'll just give you a full mixed track. You can't.
You can go here. What is that? That stems from
okay, cool.
yeah. So it's something that's it's already created by stems in a way.
What can you tell us what stems are?
Okay, stems is a word that has become popular in film music industry because they are separate audio files that you deliver as assets for production from a bigger file. Say you have an orchestra. Okay, I'm recording a live orchestra, symphonic orchestra.
So it separates out the.
So you separate groups of instruments, if not all, but let's say that you separate strings from woodwinds and brass and percussion.
That could be for remixing.
And you give a sort of sub-mix of that. For a song, stems is usually vocals, harmony, so sort of guitar / keys, bass and drum, and other eventually. Did I download it? Yeah. So let's see how it sounds to get it here.
So you can't edit it at all in Suno?
Yeah, you can.
Can?
Yeah. So all we did now is to have.
So why have you taken it into Logic Pro then? Why not just stay within Suno?
Well, what I want to do now is to have a feeling of what's going on.
Okay.
And to see if I can sort of match that reference, if I'm happy with that. So I'm just putting it together with the audio, and just instead of just only taking the file bare how it is and just giving it to the client, I'll do some tests and see if I'm happy with this.
Clear.
Just to be clear, so when you download that MP3 file, you don't need Logic to listen to that. You can just double click on
sorry.
it. It'll just play it.
Do you need it to edit it?
No, you're gonna be able to bring that into a video editor. So tomorrow when we edit this and we put the different bits together, you'll use a video editor for that. So you don't have to go and learn audio production end to end and a whole a DAW.
No. This definitely not.
But
no.
I think Dennis is showing us how he from
that's okay.
Yeah, because the question was what are you going to do with this sort of thing?
Yeah.
So and just to show you, I have here something that is called stem splitter, and this is AI. This is from the last from Logic 11, that is 6 months ago. Okay, Apple is always getting late, but usually when they do it, they work. And so this stem splitter is what we are looking for. Okay, so the idea that I can separate the audio file into all the separate stems. So for example, if I have the vocals, I can have
How well does that work? Is it a bit hit and miss?
as usually it depends on the source.
Because there's been a number of times this, like, say for instance, I get a video that it's the final version, they've got a low quality one. It's like,
Always,
oh, can you take the voiceover out and replace the song? It's like all the time I've said it, well, it's like taking chocolate chips out of a cookie once it's been baked.
Yeah.
Is like, how reliable is that?
Yeah, and here, for example, we don't have anything in drums, bass, guitar, and piano because the reasoning behind is always to have a sort of band playing, rock pop band playing, and not an orchestral thing.
Yeah.
And that is sort of I need something else.
Yeah.
For my kind of job. But we have the vocals that have been separated, so that's good. Because if we were playing the whole song, do I need to restart the computer?
No.
Sorry,
Question about copyright on those, when you bring in your own
Yeah.
material into Suno, you can bring in bits and pieces and not have to worry about then anything might come back later because
Yeah,
that
so
copyright's on
I took some notes, and the legal framework is always a little slower than the technological development.
Yeah, okay.
And so as far as you don't claim that the music generated by AI is yours, I think we are in a space where it is safe to move. But Suno as others like Udio or something, they have been under scrutiny for how the model has been trained, as always. But not, as for yesterday, it hasn't faced legal takedowns yet.
Excellent.
Orders.
Just a suggestion would be, if you have concerns about this kind of thing, because of course we could spend a lot of time talking about it, the best thing is to take the terms of service, put it in ChatGPT, ask a bunch of questions about it. So say, this is what I'm intending to do, based on the terms of service, am I prohibited from doing this, have it give you some information without having to get a lawyer to do it for you. That's a simple way of doing it.
And of the programs available, Suno is one that you've selected. Is that because you guys are thinking it's the best at the moment?
One of the best ones. Yeah.
I think for prompt to music.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Pretty good.
So,
and especially with
the initial list of
version
things that we could play with is half a dozen pieces of software there, all AI software, but you're getting into quite expert level to use some of them. So what we elected to go for were 2 Suno and 11 labs, which allow beginners to literally just type a prompt and get something out the other end, but also to get more detailed stuff.
I really struggle to say it's AI generated.
Yeah, right.
So these are all tracks that users have created, similar to how
I don't know
Midjourney has
these
used
ones
images.
because this could be just their marketing.
Yeah.
Possibly. But
Just programmatically generated lots of examples here, and
But there is, you can publish your tracks, and so anything here is published by someone, and so crashing breakbeat. Yeah, but it's it's incredible. It's incredible, really incredible.
So does someone have to publish that, or is it like Midjourney where once you create it automatically?
No. You have to manually say where is that? Usability publish.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's also here.
James, could you just show us, you know, you went into Logic there and you were separating the stems.
Can I show you? Sorry.
The stems out of Suno, were they pretty handy, the stems?
Not that composition. That's why I'm looking for something else.
Okay.
Because that was a little, sort of chamber orchestra, and Logic, like other services, are thinking about bass, drum, keys, or others. So I had that last track.
Yeah.
There was others, and was everything else.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for.
Lights are dancing in the haze tonight. Shadows.
Same prompt, 2 different songs. Let's try with this one. Yeah, same place. And, come on. This one? Yeah. Let's try with this one. Okay, I don't know, guys. It's about the sample rate between the device and let's see if I can maybe stop these changes things.
Lights are dancing.
Okay, processing, stem splitter, apply. And then we'll go into Suno and the editor.
Yeah. I was interested to know, you know how you showed us that in Suno it does the stem split in there? How good are the stems? Is it pretty good? I mean, I think stems is quite an advanced topic, so don't worry about getting too
No, it's an advanced topic, but I like you to know that, because if you want just music, you don't want to have the vocals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So just to know that you can easily remove it.
So what would be more accurate, Logic Pro doing a stem splitter or the stems straight from Suno? What have you gotten better results with?
Third one that I haven't shown you yet.
Okay, cool.
Something else.
Lights are dancing in the haze tonight. Shadows melting in the soft moonlight. Dreams are weaving through the electric air. I feel the static pulling me somewhere.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. The other thing that as a musician I would do, and I just give a hint, is that I could possibly, as I'm orchestrating notes, I would like to have the notes out of that little can. This is called audio to MIDI process, and there are tools like the one I'll show you, and that can also separate stems, that can give you the MIDI, so the notes, and eventually you can play around with those. It's working pretty well. So if I separate the stems here, get stems. Oh no, it's instrumental vocals, yes. Inside Suno it's just instrumental vocals. So it is actually pretty handy if you want just the instrumental track for your project. Yeah.
So Dennis, for those of us who do like to tinker with a little bit of music creation ourselves, so maybe just very beginner sort of musicians who've got a few musical ideas, Is there a way for us to bring those ideas into Suno and have it help us develop that out?
Like you're singing under the shower?
Well, maybe that's, well.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah, no, I think there are maybe a few different use cases. Someone who is, let's say, more of a lyricist, who's got ideas for a story, but isn't really the type of person who would sit at a piano and come up with a chord progression, versus someone who knows nothing about lyrics or songwriting, but knows how to create chord progressions or can create a melody. So I think there's different entry points,
Yeah.
pure lyrics, but not much idea.
Suno is not really about chord progressions and harmony awareness or something like that. It's not. It's not like a composer assistant.
Right.
That way, it's more of a songwriter.
Okay.
But if you go into the custom tab, yes, you can write your own lyrics. So that's pretty handy.
So what I've seen people do, this is a bit of fun, especially for memes and things like that. You go into ChatGPT, come up with an idea for a meme, ask it to write, let's just say it's taking the mickey out of, I don't know, AI aficionados. Have it write like a song that takes the mickey out of them, produces the lyrics, and then you bring the lyrics.
Let's spend 2 minutes in doing it.
Yeah. So it needs an idea, I suppose.
Wait.
We need an idea.
What song?
Yeah.
To be generated.
Should we say for let's pick a meme. I'm trying to think of something that isn't going to be controversial.
Isn't that what memes are all about?
Anything.
I just saw a funny one on prompts.
Oh, God.
Oh yes, the prompts one was funny, wasn't it? Okay, yeah, so we need an idea for lyrics for a song to be generated with Suno, which is all about living in a simulation.
I don't know you, but when I start hearing about agents, I'm just thinking about the Matrix, okay?
Matrix, me too, yeah.
Yeah.
Or why don't we say living in the Matrix as AI agents?
Glitching in the Matrix. You can copy the whole thing.
Do you think of this one?
But right at the bottom there. Right at the bottom, you see that little, yeah,
This one?
that's the one, yeah.
Yeah, but it's also with all the titles.
It understands it, it's okay. Delete the last part though, delete the last part, would you like me to, yeah.
It should have been country.
Bad country song.
I think it'll sing also this part.
Yeah.
A tongue-in-cheek take on digital life from the POV of AI agents trying to live their best in dodging bugs, bad code, and existential questions. Is this real or recursion? Do I dream of electric version? My heart's a GPU running hot for you. An AI falling in love with a JPEG, confusing real life with simulations, existential dread over deleted cookies, daily task, start to update, check vibes, dodge captcha, meeting friends in the cloud but losing them to.
So, all the tools about remixing.
Wow, right? Wow.
It's impressive. All the tools about remixing, editing, and blah blah are non-destructive. So all the songs remain into your library, and every single passage that you make, I mean, every time you hit an orange button that can be create, generate, remix, blah blah, will add a new song, a new version of the song to your library. So that's why you start seeing a lot of things that have very similar names here. So this is about the speed and pitch. As with our sample rate issue here, if you speed up things, they get like Alvin the Superstar or blah blah. So you can eventually say, okay, but keep pitch, please. This is about speed. The other thing is that I could reuse the prompt and the lyrics. Okay, and so this is sort of basic rearrangement of the same song.
Does it just produce one? You had two up there.
Two. I always. Oh no! It's just sorry. Oh, where is that?
Oh, yeah.
Two. But I've not hit remix yet. But
but
if you want
just,
me to,
Those two.
It does just two. Okay,
it
we only listen to one.
always. I'm not sure about the remix.
So it always does too. Is it?
Not sure about the remix. You see. Yeah, because when you're editing a song, you're working on that song. You're not really creating a new ideas, new songs. So when it's something that is generated, it's always two. Otherwise, I think worth investigate. Thank you. And then cover extend actually are the interesting two functions for my workflow. Because if I have a little basic idea that could be that John Cogill's reference, that I uploaded here, I could say, okay, can you do a cover with the prompt that I want?
The keys play soft like a whisper's tune.
This is part of I'm losing my job. Ah, that's so good. In 2 seconds, come on.
Beneath the glow of the silver moon, a rhythm dances both sharp and sly. With every note we're touching the sky.
The other thing could be extend, and this for an orchestrator can be very useful to give ideas. Okay, I have my little thing, and can you extend it and make the what's coming next after my idea without changing my original idea? And so for the first big orchestral piece, I tried to do something. Then I stuck to my handwriting process like all ages, but I had some little sketches on the piano, and I just tried to extend those to see where it could lead. I wasn't that happy with the orchestral thing, because still I think the Suno does and gives its best on song-like thing. And finally, if we want to edit, there is an editor. So I go on the three little dots. Which one? This one? Operating editor. This came with Suno 4, so it has sort of, I don't know, 6 to 12 months, where you see the song. You can have some tips on what to do, but actually what you can do is replace section, extend, crop, remove, fade out. So okay, extend, I can say go further on, soundtrack, I need 10 minutes, okay, different scenes, okay, crop, the other way around, I need just 20 seconds, I crop. As it is treated as an arrangement of a song, of a pop song with all the intro, verse and all the arrangement sections, I could just remove one of these sections, like, I don't know, I don't like verse 2. This is again an orange button, so it will generate another version of my song, edited with this change. But what is really interesting is the replace section, when it is again generate. This is again generate. It is generating what? I choose a section, like the intro, and this was a prompt I tried. Mailboy. Dreamy, piano-driven, jazzy, slightly sad. Generate. Editor's little slow still. Or not properly working, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, okay. So if I press here the playback, it will replace the intro with this replacement. Or I can even stick with my original. And I can generate replacement. So the magic tool that I'm happy to use is this one. It's called SamPlub. And I found it because I was looking for a tool that is doing that audio to MIDI conversion, because I need notes. I need notes to orchestrate things. So you can have this audio, so web version where you just, okay, you keep a file, you drop it here. I've not yet decided whether to buy a subscription or not, so I'm limited to 10 seconds now. If you want, you can have an unlimited timing with a subscription. Convert to MIDI. my audio volume originally was this one. And what it got is this one. I can download this MIDI. I can put my MIDI into my project. Okay.
That's a pretty amazing workflow. Wow.
I can change the instrument here, but this is okay. This is a bit cumbersome and a bit too technical. If you get the standalone app and you load the file, is it the same file? Let's see.
Seasons cascade like a river wide, a current pulling us side by side. The beat.
Okay. Another iteration of the same song generated by
Seasons cascade like a river wide, a current pulling us side by side.
And so here I had all the no, not this one, sorry. Is this one? Oh, yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
Dennis, can I ask a question about Suno?
Yeah.
When you created, I just created something and I wanted it to be 5 minutes long, but it pumped it out at 226 minutes.
Extend.
Just it will not pump it out for 5 minutes. I've got to go and manually make it longer.
Yeah, you go to the file you generated, 3 little dots, edit, extend.
Yeah, but why won't it do it for 5 minutes? If I
5 minutes, sort of 2-3 minutes is a standard pop song length. So
Okay.
I think the AI is trained around that sort of standard pop song length.
Yeah.
Seasons cascade like a river.
Even if you don't understand what's going on here, these are the notes that I can change on the fly. Okay.
Seasons cascade like a river wide. Seasons cascade like a river wide.
Okay.
Seasons cascade like a river wide.
Background.
Seasons cascade like a river wide. A current pulling us side.
I mean, there are too many changes here, but let's listen to this one. So these are the steps of only the drums. So you have some degrees on being able, without going into a DAW or some digital like Logic or something, to start playing around with the single instruments, changing notes, possibly changing the chords. But if you want, you can also change the single notes if you want to. Okay, and this is pretty amazing because it is still an audio file. It's not nothing else that an audio file, but it's visualized with all the notes, so it's pretty interesting.
I have a question about the lyrics, if you don't mind. Can you, with the lyrics, can you actually write something and ask it to speak that rather than singing it, or does it automatically create a singing voice? Kind of a dialogue.
Yeah, we're going to use
Which message do you get from that guy?
A maybe.
Yeah, no,
we can move on and even come back later on. It's I think Suno, like Midjourney or something else, is something that is worth to to play around a
Let's
few hours
eliminate, okay.
and something. So
Can I
this
just, sorry, ask one more question about Suno, the pacing so every movie that has a singular pace for each scene, and I want to be able to put the music to that, so I write it that way.
Yeah.
But if I'm using AI, can I tweak it somehow?
This is something where my job is still has some
Yeah.
competitive advantage.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes.
Okay, because I cannot go yet on that level of fine tuning and matching to a single song. This is something, but
It's coming, yes, but not right now, thank you.
yeah, I think it is about the integration with the tools you're using. I mean, with my logic, if I change the tempo map, the regions will stretch or compress, and so I'm sort of doing that stuff.
I mean, I hate to say it, but ChatGPT's been trained on all of the music theory available on the internet. So if you went and you did the meta prompting step of, I'm trying to create a prompt for the music generation AI, my scene involves this, I'm looking for a detailed prompt, particularly around pacing and so forth. It will help you describe that in words that will probably be quite well understood by the music.
Excellent, thank you.
Well, if I can add something, that original composition for the orchestra that is very old style in the process. Actually, I used a lot of ChatGPT to make calculations, for example, on tempos, and I want to fit 15.5 seconds on a 4/4. Okay, how many bars, how many beats, or what meter do you suggest, or a lot of things like that. Yeah,
Was it quite accurate? Was it helpful?
ChatGPT,
So that's called meta prompting. I think we've talked about it this week, but where you're sitting there, you're thinking, how the hell do I prompt this thing? I don't really know the language of music or the language of film or whatever it is. ChatGPT is your friend. Help me develop a prompt in the language of film or the language of music. This is what I'm trying to achieve.
I was thinking Suno pricing.
There's also, I think, a lot of creative potential in using something like Suno in the sorts of music that one would never actually hear, combinations of different sounds and genres. Like, I remember seeing one the other day, it was sort of like Celtic dubstep or something like that. It was sort of coming up with really interesting combinations that you're probably never likely to buy an album or see an album like that,
Now I was trying to look at as pricings that I don't remember. The other thing is still a gray area about what can I and what cannot I use in terms of copyright. We can go back to Suno anytime. Chris and I were a little experimenting on this guy. That's called 11 Labs. And because we were mentioning about a soundtrack is not only the music, a soundtrack is all that is audio and is made of dialogues, sounds on stage and sound effects. So if we want to have these sort of layers, the spoken text will be probably the next thing to talk about. And have you tried this one?
Just downloaded it last night.
Tell me a story, 50 words, about fairy magics. Like you
bad fairy.
AI
I
overlord.
was thinking about my children. I'm sorry. Children. Chill. Are you ready? I'm not doing anything. Oh, no. I didn't copy it.
Down the bottom there, the little copy button.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so used to not to use that because sometimes it's not only text. Boom.
You've gone into text to speech there.
In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children, glitched sprites with candy eyes and venomous laughter, rewrote dreams into nightmares. They corrupted bedtime tales, turning lullabies into looping screams. Only one patch, whispered in ancient syntax, could restore balance, if anyone dared speak it before midnight's crash.
So you clearly have different voices that you can choose from. You can save your favorite voices, but for example, you can generate with an Aussie female voice.
In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children.
And the other thing is, okay, I can speed or not. If I go here, controls values below 1.0 with low down extreme values may affect the quality, so maybe not too extreme, but this lady was a little lazy, maybe.
In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children, glitched sprite in the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children,
So increasing subvariability, it's about regeneration, so if you can use it or not, but similarity and style exaggeration are really interesting. So similarity boost overall voice, so if I go low fidelity, sort of.
in the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children, glitched sprites with candy eyes and venomous laughter, rewrote dreams into nightmares. They corrupted bedtime. In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the
So maybe Margot is not really helpful to you, but if I exaggerate the style, so this one, sorry.
There's one called Santa.
Santa.
Yeah, that's just.
There's an Aussie male
It's
as well,
Bugs
Steve.
Oxley, isn't it?
Santa, yeah.
Santa
It's like
lady.
Santa Claus, yeah.
evil children, glitched sprites with candy eyes and venomous laughter, rewrote dreams.
In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children, glitched sprites with candy eyes and venomous laughter, rewrote dreams into nightmares. In the fairy matrix, glittering code danced through digital meadows. But the evil children, glitched sprites with candy eyes and venomous laughter, rewrote dreams into nightmares. They corrupted bedtime tales, turning lullaby.
Can you edit the speech at this stage? Or the text? A little bit?
Pardon?
Can you edit this text now?
Yeah, definitely. I think.
Yeah, okay.
Tell me.
Oh, no, I just wondered. It was just
It's every
Pauses and stuff like
regeneration, yes, it's new, and then you eventually save it. You have a good AI speech classifier. Is that one? Yeah, detect whether an audio clip was created using even 11 labs. So do you have a doubt that, is this a natural voice or something? They have the same, inside the tool, they can tell you this was generated by us. Yes, and you have, a lot of languages, different models. Can this be helpful for you?
Yeah. Sound effects?
Yeah, and this is another one where, we've talked about text to image, text to video, video to video, text to audio. You can also do audio to audio here. So there's a voice changer, which
Why don't you want the iPhone? Okay. I'm not speaking in English.
As you like.
I'm not very good in English.
Fine, you're gonna change your voice, it's alright.
I'm not very good in English.
I'm not very good in English.
That's interesting.
So if we wanted to do a soundtrack video, but change the voice, this is the right way to sync it with the video.
Yeah, so
I am sick of children.
Santa would never say that.
I am sick of children.
The nuance here between the text-to-speech and the speech-to-speech.
Yeah, definitely.
Is the as you heard in Denis's, the way he enunciated that was not really captured in a straight-up text-to-speech. So
What's the timing though?
the timing, the tone is captured in speech-to-speech. So it's a different thing. So when you just put the text up there, you're kind of getting back, you're getting back pretty much a text-to-speech, straight up and down reading of that. When you put a voice recording in, it's going to try to mirror all the aspects of the voice except change it to the target voice.
So
in the same way that when we did the video to video, it kept everything but applied the style.
So if we were putting together a video from our AI videos and we wanted to add a voice, that would be, we could just do our own voice and then bring it in here and change the voice. Okay.
Exactly.
Not to speak about dubbing in different languages or in different accents for different markets. I got a story from Dan Brown, who's a sound engineer based on the coast, who worked on a huge production like Mad Max or something, and they had to call back the actor to re-record all the dialogues because the market was not okay. The market research was not okay with the accent. While here you can just put in the original audio from the movie and just have a
and change the language as well.
Yeah, I mean you have to work either with the different voices, but as Chris said, the nuances that you have on a natural spoken phrase are maybe more effective than going and to the text to speech and trying to
create the spacing
tweak with the parameters that we have here. But still here, this is a tool that we can all access freely, and so just imagine what you can have on more sophisticated or professional environments.
So will this, for example, if you wanted to do another language like Italian, for example, will this translate into back from English?
No, not translating. I don't think.
Doesn't do it.
I've never tried. Do you want me to speak in Italian?
But you would simply just take the English language, put it in ChatGPT, ask for the translation, bring it back.
Or if you are an Apple addict, you can translate inside the Apple thing.
Yeah.
There's one other quite cool thing. So you've got the library of voices that 11 Labs offers you, but you can also add your own voices. So it's called voice cloning. So let's say you had a child that you wanted to record a whole long thing, but getting them in the studio and recording them and getting their voices off. You would just record a small amount of them speaking and clone that voice to then be able to use in your project.
Oh, that's cool.
And that doesn't, obviously not just a child, but any voice that you want to clone.
That's scary.
It's
scary, but you know.
I have a question with that. Does that mean that if you upload a voice, let's say a kid's voice, 11 Labs now owns that? They don't own the vocal print?
No.
So original stuff, it's yours.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's not like that just goes into the overall library and anyone can use your child's voice.
Could you show us the sound effects?
Yep.
Yep.
We're having fun. This is pretty handy because we can have an auto. It can choose automatically the more the best length of the audio, or you can force it. And this one is about how much the prompt will be influenced compared to the training. Okay, so cinematic. These are a few that I tried. For example, bushes, screaming, interesting. With some burping cows. Sorry. Not very elegant. Do you have anything in mind?
Just wondering if you can do human sounds like hum or laughter or.
Dennis, and that prompt influence, what happens, what does that signify or?
Let's try.
Thank you.
Can you try a sports stadium chanting, "We want Dennis"?
I don't know about the lyrics.
Sounds like a lynching.
That's pretty impressive. So 0% influence.
But actually, a good example. How hard would it be to create something like that?
Something that is very layered.
Yeah. Needs a lot of voices.
Yeah. So for sound design, this is pretty.
We've done records for crowd scenes and look in the studio and get a bunch of people shouting and screaming, and that's how you do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, used to. Yeah.
Do you have any questions anytime or something? Do you have any little video clip that we could eventually use to?
Yes. What about as a little exercise?
Yeah, exercise together.
What about the little deer clip? I thought that had nice elements of both sound and sound effects.
The deer going.
Whose was the deer? It was yours. Do you mind if we use that? Is that all right? Okay.
Would you prefer to make a collaborative thing, or everyone goes?
Well, how do you guys feel? I mean, we've still got quite a bit of time, and I think what we could do is maybe do one where you show us, and then we could give everyone some time to work on their own thing, and then just help individually. Sound all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Dennis, I'm going to send you this clip.
Yep. Better drop it.
If you can.
Do you have it here?
Yeah, I'll send it to you. be super high res.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Nice. Let's go fast and quick. ChatGPT Pro.
I did not know.
Little
That it could be video.
expensive,
Wow.
little expensive, but and you have a problem at home, you just take a picture of something and yeah, it's so creepy fairy tales go with toy piano glockenspiel and glitchy scenes.
Nice.
So quite specific on the kind of instrumentation. Rhythmical, I don't know what it means, but unsettling, like corrupted lullabies in a digital dream. Slow tempo, atmospheric texture, EQ spaces. Think Tim Burton meets AI go wrong. Also, this one thinks meet Burton. They are suggesting to go with a sort of reference, style reference like it was before. How did you, if I may ask, how did you get to this video in terms of?
I was actually listening to some music in the morning and my little boy said, "Mum, can you create this?" and gave me a little story because I was coming here.
The other thing could be how long is the Earth? Where is that? I don't know.
Runway.
I think 30 seconds maybe.
30 seconds?
30 or less.
This is 10.
It's just 10 seconds.
10.
Yeah.
Is it okay 10?
Yep.
Oh. That's interesting.
I had that problem as well. If it's too long, it won't paste in.
It's pasted into your
Up the top.
Yes, placed up the top of the.
No, it was just to try.
There's a character limit on simple. If it goes over the limit, it won't do anything.
Thank you.
You tell us 10 seconds.
Not yet. Good catch. Yes, that would be interesting to be able to import the movie or have a tool where you don't have to open another program to just to.
The clock ticks backward in the night. The moon's a mi-
I think that all that stuff about editing, it's something heavy for the system. in terms of processing time or something, because when you have a new track generated and you go to this stuff, it is still working and working and working. And when you go to the editor, it's not very responsive. Sometimes you have to refresh the page and something. That means that it's something pretty bad to steam. First one, I mean, this one, bro. The first we played.
Yeah.
Do you want to try to edit and see if we can crop it to a decent length? Also, Safari is not working here. I'm a fan of Safari, but not working.
Does a carol whisper soft a tale of fright? Where whisper soft a tale of fright? Where shall toy?
Why don't we use just the intro? Remove. Bam, bam. Because I want to have a zoom, the track can be a little more precise. Otherwise, I would just download the audio file and edit it in any suite. I mean, we can do that.
What if you put seconds after 10, or would it still recognise the 10?
I'm not very confident.
Oh, okay.
And would it make a difference if you put the 10 seconds at the beginning of the prompt?
I've never used it as a thing to get to the final exact length stuff. I've always using it. I've been always using it as sort of, I have a pool of different ideas and different files that I can access and edit, because for me it's easy to go into DAW and Logic and something and just crop this little chunk of music and sorry, this one. How much? Don't know. It's still locked. Where did we? Didn't I download it? Okay, let's go MP3, sorry. Let's go faster.
So it's making WAV files rather than.
Pardon?
The files that you're getting from Suno are WAV files or MP3s?
I can choose any, I mean, it depends on what.
Okay.
For the sake of demonstration, I will go with MP3.
Yep.
And yes, if you're on a professional standard, you need WAV. But and it's what talking about the process at the beginning when you have to exchange things with the director producer and you exchange MP3 to go faster and quicker and have smaller drop of folders, and then you eventually go to WAV. Is it me? Tissue? Thank you.
We need different music.
Sort of. Are we quite happy? Okay, so which other sounds do you need?
Register for when the deer goes to the couple.
Are we
who's going up the
Add some
stairs?
strings or something.
do we need something else in terms of music?
Yeah.
Or can we?
Screen.
Are we happy for now with the music and we go to sound effects?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
Lumping up the stair.
Okay, so we have. What do we have? We have a.
Boobs on wood.
Yeah, who's going up the stairs? Boobs on wood.
Sounds. Is it a deer? What is that?
Yes.
Dear, yeah.
Thank you. Inside an abandoned house. Dusty. Sinister. We didn't listen to the difference between these two ones actually. So. Monkey. Like this one, because I think it's sort of on the same.
So you're not trying to get the sound of it walking on the stairs?
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
working on
Later on.
background.
Yeah. But I think that we need. Sorry, I need my trackpad. Okay, and then we have a deer inside an abandoned house walking up the stairs.
I think you should say wooden stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need the right sound.
Like hooves on stairs, yeah.
Stairs with squeak. With how do you call?
Creaking.
Spell it.
CREA.
CREA.
KING.
Creaking. Oh, creak. Okay, yeah. And the
hooves.
Click clop, I think.
Yeah, clicking of hooves.
Click.
Clip clop.
Clip clop, yeah.
Sorry. I'm Italian.
I don't know what I don't think that is. Not a flip.
Yeah, that would be probably the difficult one, because if you want to match the steps,
Yeah.
eventually we can get just one or just a single one and doing some. What are you doing? Sound design? When you're doing some sort of Foley or something.
Makes no sound, obviously. Dear.
It's very quiet.
They're wearing work boots.
Heavily very. Stilettos maybe.
Let's say with hooves,
So you still need the abandoned house prompt because that'd be in the other Atmos sound.
Take out the creaking.
Yeah, take up, just, that's the sound of a deer walking on a wooden floor.
Yeah, would be enough, yeah.
Maybe.
Even don't worry about the stairs. Oh, you never know.
Okay.
Fast, yeah.
Okay though.
Still the training.
Yeah.
So,
Even two, so it's
why wouldn't you
sort of
just go
unbalanced.
find that sound in a free sound library?
because then you wouldn't be using AI.
Sorry. Let's close this one. This is this.
What you get?
Don't lose the masterpiece, Dennis, please.
No, I'm not.
Okay.
I'm very keen not to save it.
That's cool. So what's that cool keyboard you've got there?
You can do much better, you know, but the idea could be. What I did here is a bit. I put that file into a sampler. Okay, and a sampler allows you to play that sample, sliced automatically, and it's just a quick way to go. Otherwise, we could have just imported it. Yeah. and just find it a good one. I mean, as a good sound designer would do, just slice them, poof, 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 choose what I like. Yeah, and put where I believe that it's okay. Another one here. Oh, sorry. Another one. I don't know. That here. Another one. Yeah, I'm not going that precise now, but just to give a rough idea, you know what you can do. Ooh. I don't know. And then you work on the effects you. I don't know. Are they screaming?
He looks like he's.
Okay.
No, not yet.
No screaming.
Why? Sorry?
Impact hit with debris. So if you just look at the beginning of that shot, there's almost like a bit of an impact on the timber or something.
This shot? Oh yeah, the bum. Oh,
So impact with wooden
yeah,
debris.
definitely, definitely.
Wooden impact
burst through the
splinters
door.
or debris.
What? Burst through a door.
Splinters.
Burst through a door and cause damage.
Very risky.
That's going to be
Very risky.
horrible.
Minimal damage maybe.
It's a fairly gentle deer.
He just wants,
But scary. But very scary.
he just wants something to eat. He's hungry.
It's gonna eat them.
It's gonna meet these people.
Cannibal.
Oh, did I lose it? Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah.
loud, slowly,
Okay.
horror. That's good.
I don't know if any tools like you give it the video and they try to catch some action
VO3
and sort of automating the Foley thing.
Yeah, it's like Google VO3.
Oh, it's already there. They are doing. Is it working well?
Well, the demonstrations, I haven't tried it myself.
Okay.
It's not available in Australia yet.
Oh, okay.
What's it called though when it's coming?
No, is it the Google stuff?
VEO3.
Google VO3.
Not available yet, so.
It's an editing gig basically for extras.
Look, I think you understood. I'm mostly on the music side of things and not on sound.
Just the first bit's enough.
Yeah, that's good.
But there you go. That's how it comes together.
You heard a laugh.
I think in terms of evoking emotions and getting a track that sort of helping you convey that emotion, we are very, very powerful with Suno. Very powerful.
Really
What
good.
this has us to do?
Well, I think it's 4 o'clock. You've got, I think that's a pretty good run through of all the capabilities there. Why don't we give you a chance to, as you like, for the rest of the session, work on stuff. It's already been quite a big week, so don't feel like you have to spend the rest of the day here. But if you'd like to, you're most welcome to, and if you want a little bit of help. But I think at this point, are there any questions for Denis while we still have him here?
Yes, it concerned the voice changing that you were using. Is it possible to kind of edit the voice and make it more grainy, or because it's very clean, it's a bit too clean? So is there any way to use it through 11 Lab?
I mean, if it is this year, you have size exaggeration. That is the only really parameter that where you can work on nuances of voices.
Okay.
I will say that maybe the choice of the voice could be So first you choose a voice that is matching your idea or what you want, and then you fine tune it on the way things got. Or maybe you use the voice changer. You choose the voice and then you try to speak with to record your audio with your intensity and your.
Okay, and another thing, if I have a bad audio recording, like I don't use a good microphone or anything, does 11 Lab brings it to a really crisp voice? Because I noticed that when you recorded your voice, you recorded it through your laptop.
Yeah.
Usually it's not good quality, but it came out really crisp.
Well, I would say that MacBooks in the last 5 or 10 years have decent audio, inside audio.
So it doesn't tend to...
Decent, or no, not professional, but decent microphones. Yeah. But I like to speak in English, but I'm not able to.
Stemming there? Stemming there?
I like to speak in English, but I'm not able to.
So it cleans it up. It cleans the steps and everything. So
Just with respect to your question, Dennis, do you mind just going to voices at the top there? And you see create or clone voice? You can describe a voice with the voice design feature here. So if you wanted a really gravelly voice or a particular type of thing, it's prompt to voice. So in other words, for the voice design, a particular accent or whatever it is, you can use that to actually create your voice. Yeah. So not only what it says,
didn't know
but the
about
actual
that.
voice itself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where was that? Sorry, I didn't get
The night air carried whispers of betrayal, thick as London fog. I adjusted my cufflinks after.
The night air carried whispers of betrayal.
The night air carried whispers of betrayal.
Yeah, right.
How
is that guy
Yeah, Attenborough, yeah.
Close enough.
There was a court case recently with his voice, so take it easy.
You can find it.
Like.
No. What they prompt. Oh, sorry. Generate. Oh.
Yeah, voice likenesses, it's a big deal. Like for a lot of those people, that's their entire.
Or people are afraid of deepfakes and stuff maybe.
Yeah, so, you would just have to find a way of describing that kind of voice that isn't specifically the likeness.
Sometimes it can be an accent, a very regional accent or something like
that.
that.
Yeah.
Particular part of England.
You found the workaround?
I don't know.
The night air carried whispers of betrayal, thick as London fog. I adjusted my cufflinks After all,
The night air carried whispers of betrayal, thick as
The night air carried whispers of betrayal, thick as London fog. I adjusted my cufflinks. After all, even spies must maintain appearances, especially when the game is afoot.
A meta prompting tip here. I would go to ChatGPT and I would say, I need to describe to a friend the voice of person X without saying their name. Describe to me in depth how one could explain that voice so that the person...
The night air carried whispers.
So the person hearing my explanation would have a very clear idea of what that voice sounded like. So have it describe in detail to you, without mentioning the name, what that person's voice sounds like.
Excellent.
So the characteristics of that voice.
Yeah, well, I mean, audiobooks, tutorials, and we don't need any more people to record voices.
Yeah.
If
A lot of artists out of a job.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of artists, yeah.
Any last questions for Dennis?
Whispers of betrayal, thick as London fog. I adjusted my... The night air carried whispers of betrayal. The night air carried whispers of betrayal.
Yeah, the fact that my job requires to have several heights
Yeah.
still helps me be safe in a way, but also being curious and not thinking that this is a threat. It's a possibility to have some tasks automated and some others enhanced, so I can possibly have fun.
You know, we've talked about it all week. As it becomes easier to generate stuff, so the importance of taste and aesthetic becomes more and more and more important. So as someone who can tell the difference between something that sounds interesting as an orchestral arrangement versus something that's boring, that's a really important aesthetic or taste skill that doesn't go away.
But Steven Spielberg had to use his imagination.
That's right.
It's
Gotta have curiosity.
And it's not about AI, I mean, it's about delivering a demo.
Yep.
That's, I mean,
Chris,
there are on YouTube or Facebook, I don't remember. Do you know John Powell, composer for How to Train Your Dragon, all that stuff? And there are some videos where his team showcases the same track with the demo track and then morphing into the real final recording. And you can tell they are different, but you cannot tell that one is sounding fake. So good it is, without AI. That was 5 years ago. So that power of imagination and developing some craftsmanship and taste is something that we have to put on the table, to discuss, to help each other.
Yeah.
The nuances of language make a massive difference too to what you get. We were working the other day with Midjourney. What you put in is they've got a lot to do with what you get back.
Just one point on the voice, before we go to your question. A really cool thing that you can do is do the voice design, because what's nice about that is you can be super creative about the kind of voice that you want, right? So you can really go to town with a prompt to create a voice. And then use the voice changer with this voice. So you create a proprietary voice that you like, that's unique, it doesn't exist anywhere else. And then you record either yourself or someone else that you want with the intonation and all the stuff that we talked about before. And then when you do the voice change, this voice will be in your library. So you can select this voice that you've created to do the voice-to-voice change. So that's a really nice way of doing it too.
So you may have already answered this, but just to reiterate, going back to when you can record your own voice, for example, and so you would then be able to, like, for example, if I wanted to do a narration for a short film, I can, if it's set in England, I could change it to like a very specific British accent based on the regionality in England, or like you can change accents and things like that?
To the extent that a voice has an accent built into it, yes, you can take the same track with the same script and have it read out by multiple different voices.
Could you use your voice but in a different accent, or is it not? It doesn't have that capability?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Right.
But you've got
Unless
the voice
you-
design and you've got the instant voice clone. The voice clone is where you actually record or provide a sample of the voice.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
With Suno, can you give it a track and get it to make another arrangement of that, like a track of a popular song, and what are the what's the copyright around that?
No, you can't, they won't let you upload.
Won't let you upload?
They'll have fingerprint checking to see that you.
Okay. And one other thing, if a track is out of copyright, could I get it to make an arrangement?
Yeah, I think so.
Like a classical, like an old classical song or something like that.
But the actual playing of it wouldn't be out of copyright.
Being like public domain songs.
Oh, it depends when it was recorded.
Yeah, like if it's a Beethoven aria,
I think you
then
could
it's
try
out
it,
of copyright.
you should try it, it's
Try
easy, you just click on the bottom plus there, give it a try. Any other questions for Denis? Because those are all things we can experiment and try. Yeah, one last question.
Mine was just about pacing and emphasis if you're recording a voiceover, say for a short film or an ad. Can you change that in 11 Labs, so add certain emphasis on certain words, or is it best to record your own voice?
I don't think inside this stuff to get to that level of because you can't change overall the speed.
Could you put it into ChatGPT and ask it to emphasize certain words?
Sure.
There are little hacks like that where you use things like ellipsis and so forth to create spaces and pauses and so on. You can try it, that's great stuff to experiment. Yeah. I think for the most accurate you do voice to voice, so you would read it with the right pacing and so forth. Well, I think we should give Denis a massive round of applause. So Denis, when is that production happening down, the Sunshine Coast production?
It's a concert that will be on 13th of September, Calandra Event Center.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Really, really great. Well, I learned a hell of a lot, I'm sure you guys did too. There's so many things to play with now. You can just imagine that idea coming together with the imagery, the video, the sound effects, the music.
Unless, I was thinking out of the box, unless we do little chunks of the same text with different speeds and then put together. You know? I'm sorry, you need a couple of words very slow.
Yes, yeah.
You put just those 2 words.
Okay.
You generate the voice, and then eventually it's a workaround.
Oh, you mean like for example, if someone's like talking to you and then they suddenly become angry and shout, for instance.
Oh, yeah.
That's makes sense. Yeah. So machine
You go
won't do
inside
that.
Logic or your video editing program and just put crossfade between the lift.
Fantastic, well, feel free to work on stuff if you like for the rest of the session. Denis, thanks again, that was really wonderful.
Thank you.
I'll send you a note this afternoon. I'll just check with my colleagues just to make sure I send you the right information. Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, thanks everyone.